if you love to entertain as much as I do, you certainly don't need a reason. But one of the things I like to do is put out all my food in a buffet for everyone to enjoy at their leisure. But sometimes your guests don't know what kind of food you've laid out, especially here at my house. And I did the cooking. Well, that's a whole nother segment. Okay, so what I always encourage is to make food labels so everybody knows what it is, especially if they have food allergies. So this is a really cute idea. I made this little label here. I'm going to show you how to do it. I also made this label for wine. It's a great idea to remove the label off a wine bottle and then make your own. I put an O for somebody with the last name that starts with O. I'll enjoy that later. And then this is a neat idea to label glasses. Because, you know, buying some of those wine charms there for certain occasions, well, this one, when it's done, you can throw it away and you don't have to worry about it anymore. So I'm going to show you how to do all that really fast. First of all, what I'm going to use is the Wizard in order to help me create some of my labels. Now, the Wizard, you've seen me do a ton of segments using the Wizard, but they have all of these different shapes of die cuts. Stars, flowers, circles, squares, it doesn't matter. But what I'm encouraging you to do, these are the nestabilities, and they have all of these different sizes in one package. And that way you can do a whole bunch of sizes all in one fell swoop. And it'll save you time, it'll save you paper and everything else. So, for example, I'm going to use the scalloped edge design here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay out as many as I can fit on my little magnet sheet and create as many cuts out of one piece of paper as I possibly can. So I'll do this and like this, okay, and I'll lay my paper on top of that, and I'm going to run it through the Wizard. Oh. Just like this. Now, with labeling, especially on things like wine bottles and whatnot, I always like to use paper as opposed to like a heavy cardstock, because it just wraps around the bottle a whole lot easier. So I'm going to remove the sheet, okay, and then I'm going to go back in and I'm going to do the embossing. And there's a great tutorial on the website on how to use the Wizard for all kinds of really, really cute projects. This is just one of many. Now I'm going to go ahead and emboss. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to create labels not only with the decorative paper, but with just some plain cardstock as well. Okay, I've got all my embossed pieces here in all different sizes. Okay, cut and embossed. Now I'll go through and I'll do the same thing with some cardstock, just plain color, so that I have something to write on. But I always suggest that you find papers with smaller patterns to them, because if you get a big pattern paper, you're not going to really see the theme of it. Obviously, I'm doing this one for Christmas. So what I did was I took two labels of the same size. We'll call them labels for lack of a better term. Set my Wizard aside here. And I'm using a skewer. You can use a toothpick if you like, but I think a skewer is a lot stronger, especially if you have, something like cheese or a larger dish. This is just a lot heavier and a lot stronger. And I'm going to cut this in half because it's too tall. And then I'm going to use my glue gun, and I'm going to glue the skewer to one side of the label, and then put the glue around it, and I'm going to glue it to the other side so that it's a double-sided label, and I'll show you why that's a good idea in just a moment. There, glue that on. So we have a label that looks just like that. And the reason why I do both sides is because if you have a buffet set up and somebody walks around to the other side, you want to have your label finished on the back side. And I actually just noticed that a few moments ago because I didn't do it at first, but the barcode from the paper was on the back, and how tacky was that? Not at my house. Okay, so now I'm going to take a smaller piece of paper, the cardstock, and decide how big I want my labels to be. And maybe, if I just want it to be this size, because I really want to see the design on the paper. So I'm going to take a pen. I'm using this is called a precision pen. You could also use a colored marker, if you like, for more style and pizzazz. But, we'll just take this and we'll do the word cheddar cheese. And then I like to take these little pop-ups and put them on the label just to give it a little bit of dimension. So there you go. You have an awesome food label. That way, if somebody has an allergy to something, nuts or fish or anything, you can get really specific with your recipe if you want. But this is really, really cute. So you can just put that in your cheese. Okay, this one, pretty much the same idea. I used the larger size of the die cut for the scalloped edge, I believe was the pattern that I used. And then I just created a label for the wine. I took the label off. I soaked it in water. And so I wouldn't forget what kind of wine it was. I actually wrote it underneath. It's a red, duh, but it's an Arizona wine. And then just added some ribbon, and I also added a little O there for maybe I'm giving this as a gift, or I could write the name of the wine on there so everybody knows what kind of wine it is. And then for the wine glass, I used these. These are pre-cut paper flowers from Basil. And all I did is I took them out of the package and I wrote a name. I'll put Terri O. And then I used, once again, these double-sided pop-ups, and I just stuck it to the bottom of the glass. Now Terri and Ray are sharing this glass. But the cool thing about this is when the holiday's all over, I just peel it off. Like that. Wow, that sticks really good. Anyway, it does come off. You peel it off, throw them away, and then, save your glass for another holiday and make a whole nother actual wine glass marker. Okay, so I have all the instructions on the website, so now you can make your own, but wait. Do you not love this awesome cheese tray made out of marble? Well, guess what? I have this project on the website. I'm going to show you how to make it, so look for it.